I hope all is going well and you're having a beautiful, blessed day. Today, I have a message to share with you, but I am veering away a little bit from our current sermon series because I found an old sermon series in my Bible, an old sermon note message in my Bible from college, because I recently did a tribute to my best friend who has been my guardian angel since 2003. So I found this message in my Bible, and it is from a series called The 7 Deadly Sins. And this is from the spring of 2010. The message is dated May 29th and 30th of 2010. So the verse that starts this message is from Matthew 5:21 and 22. And it says, "You have heard that it was said to people long ago, 'Do not murder, and anyone who murders will be subject to judgment.' But I tell you that anyone who is angry with his brother will be subject to judgment. Again, anyone who says to his brother, 'Raka,' is answerable to the Sanhedrin. But anyone who says, 'You fool,' will be in danger of the fire of hell." And that is Matthew 5, chapter 5, verses 21 and 22. And the next section that is in my notes are 3 possible responses to anger. And so response number 1, we can express it. And the verse that illustrates how we can express it is from Proverbs 15, verse 18. And it says, "Hot tempers start fights, and cool spirits keep the peace." Number 2, the second way we can handle our anger is we can suppress it, which is also not good. And it says, "And don't sin by letting your anger gain control over you. Don't let the sun go down while you are still angry, for anger gives a mighty foothold to the devil." And that verse is Ephesians chapter 4, verses 26 and 27. The third and most healthiest way we can deal with our anger is to confess it. And the verse that illustrates this that comes from Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, and it says, "Then Jesus said, 'Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest.'" So the second section of my notes is 3 steps to giving my anger to God. The first step we have to do is to identify what triggers my anger and pause before responding. And the verse that illustrates this comes from the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 11, and it says, "People with good sense refrain their anger. They earn esteem by overlooking wrongs." So what Jesus is saying is, don't get angry and don't rush to find something wrong with somebody. The second way we deal with our anger is to pray when I'm tempted, pray when my temper is rising, and respond with love. And so the verse that illustrates this point comes from the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 6. And it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God." And that is, again, Philippians 4, chapter 4, verse 6. And so I wrote in the blank space that it reminds us that we lack self-control to give God and don't give God control. Or no, we lack self-control, so we should give God control. Sorry for messing up on that one. But the number three step to properly dealing with our anger is that we should look into ways to repair the damage already caused by my anger and leave the vengeance to God. So there are so often times where we get angry and we want to get even, but God says in a few passages, the first one being from Matthew chapter 5, verse 23 and 24, it says, "Therefore, if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to your brother, then come and offer your gift." And the reason why God says we should do this is because if we have the sin of anger in our heart, and anger that is dealt with the wrong way is sin. There is a righteous way to get angry, but the righteous way to get angry is to get angry and tell God about it and not take it out on other people. So if we have something against somebody, we should not offer our gift just yet to God, but we should go and reconcile that relationship as much as we can, and then come back and offer our gift to God. And so the last set of verses that illustrate this point come from the book of Romans, chapter 12, verses 18 through 21, and it says, "If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live in peace with everyone. Do not take revenge. Do not take revenge, my friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, 'It is mine to avenge. I will repay,' says the Lord. On the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will reap burning coals on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." And so what that last verse, or the last set of verses, is telling us is that when we get angry with somebody and we have something against somebody, we shouldn't focus on getting revenge, because God is the one who is going to someday get the revenge, either through something he does in that person's life here on earth, or I should say, or that person will be judged by God in heaven when he gets to meet his maker, or our maker. But the reason why we should do good to the people that don't like us is because it is an example of the way we are living and the way that they should be following. Because we aren't saying, we aren't lording over the fact that we are better than them, but we are showing them by example that if true children of God become angry or become sad or anything, that they know how to handle their emotions because they are in a relationship with the one who made those emotions. And that they know that they can run to God first. So it's always wise to do good to people that hurt us. Not because we're saying, nah, 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 I'm better than you. It's because we're saying, this is how my God would want me to treat you. And this is how I'm going to treat you, because even though you're doing a wrong thing to me, I still love you because God loves you. There is a popular reel on Instagram, and I'm sure it's on TikTok too, but it says, it's this voiceover that says, you have to realize that you'll never look into somebody's eyes that God doesn't love. The eyes of somebody that God doesn't love. So you guys, I just pray that if you are angry with somebody right now, that you would first give it to God. Try to figure it out with him. And then go to your brother or sister who you're angry with and try to work it out. But remember that verse that says, as far as it depends on you, be at peace with everybody. There are going to be times where you're going to have relationships where you can't repair that relationship. So what you have to do is give it to God and tell God that you've done your best, and then let go and then see what happens. If you are still in that person's life and you are able to be an example of who God is and be that only Bible that that person is reading, then so be it. But if you have to fully let go and walk away, and maybe or maybe not, that person might or might not come back into your life, then you have to be okay with that. I have had many relationships that I at first wanted to fix, but God told me not to. He just said, forgive these people and then walk away. I wish there are some relationships where I wish he would have said, forgive these people and work hard to work hard to repair your relationship to what it was. But the more and more I tried to do that, the more and more I tried to repair it to what it was, the more stir crazy I got, because the circumstances never got resolved. They just got pushed under the rug. So I became more and more sad and more depressed in what my thoughts were of, I wish I could fix this person. I wish I could reach out to this person and just shake them and let them know what they need to know. And so if you want to hear more of my story about that, go to the episode of my podcast, and you will have to listen to the podcast app wherever your podcast is available. I'm available everywhere, by the way. You will have to listen to the podcast on an app, the episode on an app, but it's titled How I Dealt with Depression. And I am so grateful to the people that just let me be a puddle when I needed to be a puddle. And so, because that is not how, being cheerful and being upbeat is not how I dealt with it. I needed to totally break down and be a puddle for, I don't know how long. It took a while. And I remember having a conversation with my pastor's wife, and God really used her to speak to me. And one day she said, you know what, you gotta just keep the situation in God's hands and then let go. Keep on praying for the person that you need to pray for, but you have to walk away, because you're turning into somebody who is unrecognizable. I was becoming very sullen and depressed, and I was just living in this pain that wasn't because of my own situation. It was because I saw somebody hurting themselves and they didn't want to stop, but I felt like I needed to be their savior. And so go and listen to that episode if you are so inclined to, and then come back whenever you want to and let me know what you think. But I hope that all is going well. I will be delivering another old sermon note message, and as well as getting this one onto my website. I know I've been behind on that as well, but I hope that you subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and that you have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless. Bye-bye.